Today, I will be talking about depression. Do you know how to tell if someone in your life is depressed? Maybe you don't. If you want to know what to look for to see if someone close to you is depressed, keep listening. Hello, you all. Welcome back to Mindful Nuggets by Tasha T. I am your host, Tasha T. October is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month. So I wanted to take some time to talk about depression. Depression looks different for everyone. There are some people who are high achievers, just going out here doing all these wonderful things, but they are struggling with depression. A great example of this is Chelsea Christ. You all might have heard about her earlier this year. She ended her life by suicide. She was a beautiful lady. She was an accomplished lawyer. She was just doing all these wonderful things. But after she ended her life by suicide, her family disclosed to the public that she had been battling depression for years. So, depression looks different for everybody. Depression, according to the Mental Health America, it's a mood disorder. We all have our ups and downs with our mood, but a person who is depressed has these ups and downs for about 2 weeks. So it's a consistent thing. And they actually list some different symptoms of depression. One is feeling or appearing low, empty inside, or irritable most of the day, every day. That person who you think might have an anger problem could actually be depressed. Okay, some other symptoms. People lose interest in activities that they would normally enjoy. They might have a change in their appetite or weight. So they might be eating more or less, or gaining or losing weight. Person might also have some sleep issues. They could be sleeping too much or not sleeping enough. They might feel exhausted. They might get plenty of sleep but still wake up feeling exhausted. And these people might also have a hard time thinking, concentrating, or making decisions. A classic symptom of depression is a person who's having thoughts of death or suicide. So if you know somebody who's talking about death or suicide, you might want to check on that person. There is actually a crisis line. It's 988. That's the National Crisis Line. You can actually call that number or text that number. But if somebody is actively talking about wanting to end their life, you might want to take that person to the emergency room. I mentioned a while back about some tips to keep in mind when a person is expressing thoughts of suicide. I'm going to actually link that episode below so you all can listen to it. So, those are some symptoms of suicide, I mean, of depression. But one other thing about depression is I mentioned these different symptoms. Some of these symptoms could be related to depression, some could be related to other issues. There's some people who might have experienced a loss and that could cause them to feel depressed for a short time. But feeling depressed for a short time and being depressed are two different things. If you experience a significant loss in your life, it would be normal to feel sad about that. But as we go through our grieving process, we're able to work through those things. But if a person is having a significant time bouncing back from that grief, then that might be a sign that this person has depression. It could also be just a life situation, having job loss, having significant changes in your family, even substance use. It could So a person could be using substances and they could appear to be depressed, but it's really that substance that they're using is causing them to display symptoms of depression or a mood disorder. So it's just really important that if you or somebody close to you thinks they might be depressed, that you reach out to a mental health professional and or your primary care doctor to just kind of rule out your symptoms and just really identify what's going on with you. So, what are some ways to navigate depression? One is to create a daily routine, getting up at the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every night, and just having things that you do throughout that day at the same time every day is a good way to navigate depression. Also, if there are important people in your life, connect with those people on a regular basis. It could be friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, whoever. Just try to connect with people, stay connected. That's one way to deal with depression. Another way is to learn a new hobby. You all, I don't know what it is about the fall time, but I like to bake. So I will be baking more stuff during this fall season. So if you're a person who wants to learn how to bake and you find yourself feeling depressed, just, you know, getting those ingredients together, creating that, just creating this beautiful dessert, it can be a good way to manage those feelings of depression. Also, just learning how to craft, learning how to do your nails, learning how to crochet your hair. I might be talking to a certain group of people, painting, just whatever it is, finding some kind of hobby, gardening. I know it's getting a little cool outside now, so that might not be something. Or just taking care of plants. Just whatever hobby is meaningful to you, that could be a great way to navigate feelings of depression. Also, going for a walk, just getting out, getting some sun. The sun has vitamin D, and vitamin D is a very important thing to have when you're feeling depressed. So, getting that sunlight, especially since the days will be getting shorter soon, it's important to have as much sunlight as possible. Now, it can also be helpful to talk to somebody. So, there is no shame in going to see a therapist. Therapists are trained to help you to navigate your feelings of depression. So, I also am going to include a screener that you could use that can help you to see if you might be displaying some symptoms of depression. And if you notice that the findings are significant or even not, I will still encourage you either way to reach out to a doctor or a therapist. Don't try to struggle in silence. There are people who are available to assist you. So just know that your needs and your concerns are valid. You don't have to suffer alone. So, you all, I do. I would like to leave you all with a verse from Psalm 34 and verse 18. It says, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." Depression can make you feel like your spirits are crushed, like you're low, like no one cares. But even in the midst of feeling like you're crushed in your spirit or feeling low, the Lord is still with you. So that is a great time to reach out to Him, to pray, to just let Him know all of what's going on with you in your heart, and He will meet you in that place. So if you find yourself feeling depressed, I listed some other ways, but also know that you can pray and get comfort in the Lord. All right. So until next time, you all be mindful. Come on and talk to you all about depression. So I hope that this episode has helped somebody. And if you think that this might be of benefit to someone in your life, please feel free to share it with them. Until next time, you all be mindful.